Hello dear friends, welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this email grabber. First of all, let's see how it works. So let's run it. This is our email grabber, which means if you have a long text and inside those texts you have emails and you want to only get those emails. For example, you go to a web page and you just want to copy those emails. So you have to do it one by one, but you want to do it automatically. So this is for that. Let's say this is a text I copied from a website. I only want to get the emails which is inside this text. Just click on grab and it will automatically get those email addresses. As you can see, it gets we got three email addresses, the first one, the second, and the third. If you want to copy this one, you can click this copy and it will copy the text for you. And if you want to clear and paste a new text, you just click clear. So now you saw what is the email grabber, now it works. Now let's go to our project folder and create this project. So first of all, I make a folder, I call it email grabber, and open my Visual Studio Code and drag and drop this folder into it. Inside this one, I make a file called index.html, and we make the basic HTML5 structure. I give it a title. We have to include one library, which is jQuery. You can Google the jQuery CDN. You can copy the link here and paste it here. Okay, that easy. Now we have to create the structure of this application, but so you guys can see everything, I just run it with the live server so you can see what we are doing. I divide my screen into half. Let's wait for it to run. Okay, this is my project. I divided the screen to half, so now you guys can see everything very clear. Okay, the first thing I have to do is to create a wrapper. So I make a div and give it a class of wrapper. Remember, I don't use Bootstrap here, we will design everything by CSS. Inside this wrapper, first of all, I make another div, and this is for title. The first thing we need is those titles, and the first title is an h1 with a class of h1. Inside this one, we give the title of this application, which is email grabber. And I make another one, this time an h2 with a class of h2, and I say made by, you can put your own name here, made by MySkyPower, and this is how it looks. Okay, we created the title section. The next section we have to create is the text area where you can put your text. So I make a div with a class of text area. Inside this one, I'm gonna make a text area, and I give it, I don't need name, and I give it a class first so we can design it later. I give it text area 1, and I give it an ID of input, and I don't need column and rows, but I need a placeholder, and I say put the text here, and this is how it looks. And now all I need to do is to copy this one and paste it one more time, and this time I change the class to text area 2 and the ID to output, and I change the placeholder text, and I will say you will get the emails here. Okay, we have created the text area section also. Now it's just time to create the button sections. So I make a div with a class of btns, means buttons, and I make an input, and type of my input is a button, and I give it a value. The first one is grab, and I give it a class btn, and I want this one to run a function. So whenever I click this one, unclick, I want it to run a function, and that function name could be extract emails, which will later we create it with the JavaScript. Okay, once we done that, I just copy this one and paste it 2 more times, and I changed the value this time to clear. This is a clear button, and I changed the onClick function to clear text. We don't need to change the type or class. We put it as it is. And the third one is copy button, and I changed the onClick function to copy text. We will create these functions later on our JavaScript. So this is the main structure of our application. As you can see, we have 2 text areas with 3 buttons and some titles. Now it doesn't really look nice. We have to give it some style. So I make a style. So I first link it, and I create a file called style.css. Here I create this file, style.css. And inside this file, the first thing I have to do is to import the Google font. I imported the Google font library because I want to use the these 2 family fonts. And the second thing is I just copy paste to make it shorter. I select everything, and I remove the margin, default margin, padding, box sizing, and etc. I have to save this one so you can see the change now, and it changed. And I change the font family to this font from the Google, and I select the body. I want everything to display on a flex box, and I want to align the item center and justify everything at the center. I give it a min height of 100 VH, which means it will take all over the screen, and I change the background color to this color. And after that, I'm going to also change the selection. If now I select, it's not really nice, so I select the selection and I change the color and background. Now if I select, it looks more beautiful. And the other thing I'm gonna do is to copy I select the wrapper itself, and I change the background color to something like black. I give it this margin, and I set the width to auto, and I change the border radius to 7 pixel, and I give it some box shadow and padding it. Let's save, and this is how it looks. And after that, I select the title box, these 2 inside the box, inside the div, and I want to display them in a flex, and I align them at the center. I give them some margin at the bottom and at the top. And after that, I select my text h1, h2, these 2 text, and I select this first one, and I set its position to relative, and I change it to make it a little better. So I change this font color and then its color itself, and then I select the second text, and this time I change its position, and I give it a bottom and right position, so it looks under on the top of my title, and I change this color and give it some opacity. After that, I selected the text area itself, this text area, and I by using input, and from input I want to select the type, which is text, and from there I want to select the text area. I change the background color to green, and after that, to change the placeholder text of this text area, you have to select the text area, and from text area you have to select the placeholder, and I change its color to something like this. Okay, and after that I selected the text area 1, which is this one, and I set its position to relative, and I change it as width, it is width to 400 pixel, and I give it some height of 400 pixel. I give it some border radius, margin, and some padding, and of course we change the font size and color, and it looks more beautiful. Now we have to give some style to our text area too, so we do the same thing. We select our text area 2, and this time also give it a position of relative. We give it some height, width, border, margin, padding, and color, but it doesn't look really nice. So we'll fix that later. So after that, we select the buttons, and from button I want to display them into flex, and I want to center everything, so I use justify content center, and I give it some margin at the bottom and some margin at the top, and they are at the center right now. Okay, after that I'm going to select this text area itself. Okay, it's the div of this text area because it doesn't look nice, we have to align them somehow. So I select the text area, I want to display everything into flex, and I want to justify the content center and give it some margin at the top and the bottom, and now it looks really nice, right? It looks more beautiful. Okay, after that I want to select the button. We give some design to our buttons area, the button position, so we position them. Now it's time to give some style to our button itself. So we select our button itself by class, and we change its font size, and we remove the border. We give it some margin at the top, we give it some border radius, we give it some padding, margin, and we change the width to make it a little bit bigger, and we also give it some width. I change the color of its font to white, and I change the cursor to pointer, and I give it some background color of green, and a transition because we wanna use a hover, so it should run smoothly. And after that I select the button, and I want to give it some hover animation. Whenever you hover, it changes the background color, and it doesn't happen immediately, it happens in a small duration with ease out. Now let's save and let's see. That's how it looks when I mouse over it, and it looks really nice. But that's not all, we wanted to make it mobile responsive. So if now I make it smaller, you can see it is not responsive. I want to make it responsive, so I select at media, and I want to give the max weight. If the weight is smaller than 817 pixel, I want to change some of properties of these elements. So the first thing I want to change is the wrapper. I select the wrapper, and I want to make it smaller, so I change the weight to 350 pixel, and now it looks smaller. But if I make it bigger, it's the same. Only when the screen size is smaller than 807 pixel, it becomes smaller. Okay, the other thing I want to change is the text area, and whenever it is on the mobile, it's on a small screen, I want to change the flex direction from row to column. So we say flex direction to column, and I give it some margin at the top and the bottom. Now it looks like this. Now we have it on the column sections, but we have to change some design. So I select my text area 1, and I want to change its weight and height, make it a little bit smaller, and now it's smaller. We do the same for the text area 2, and now it looks really nice. If you're on a bigger screen, it's on the right row, but if you come on a smaller screen, it's in the flex is on the column direction. So we also changed this title looks really big, so we select H1, we change the font size, and I also change the position of H2, and it looks really nice. Now it's mobile responsive. If you are on a bigger screen, it looks like this, and if you are on a smaller screen, it looks like that. But the problem is it doesn't have any functionality. It doesn't do anything. It's now time to give it functionality. We have successfully designed our application. Now we make another file. I call it app.js. We have to link that one to our index file, so we come with the index file at the bottom after the body, or maybe before the body. I use a script, and I say app.js and save. We have linked that one. Now we come to our app.js, and it's time to give our application functionality. As you remember, inside the index, whenever the user click on the clear button, it runs this function clear text. So let's first give the clear button functionality. So I make a function, I call it clear text. And how to clear the text? First of all, we have to select this text area 1 and this text area 2. How you can do that? Use document.getElement by ID and put the ID in here. As you remember, the ID is input and the other one is output. You put input, and what I want, because I wanted to clear this one, I changed this value to something empty, and I do the same, such as copy paste, and now we do the same for the output. So whenever the user click this clear button, it will remove everything from here. If I click, you see it removes the text and make it empty. Now I want to give functionality to our copy button. So on click, it runs the copy text function. So you make that function. The name of function is copy text, and whenever someone click copy, it should copy everything from this text area too. How you can do that? First, we select our output, and I want to select this one. So last time we got the value, now I want to select it. So just say select. Use this function select. Now it's like we select this one, and I want to copy the text from this function. So how we can do that? There's a function inside the JavaScript called exec, this one, command. And inside this one, use put copy, and it will copy the text from the selected element. And we also want to alert the user, so we want to show them the text is copied. We put a message called copied. Let's test if it works. I put 1, 2, 3 here, and I click copy, and it says it's copied. Now let's paste it here, and there you go. It is 1, 2, 3, the same thing. Okay, now the important one, the extract emails. So we make a function called extract emails. Now this is the interesting part. Okay, inside this function, first of all, I wanna get the text of this first text area. So just like before, so we make a variable. I call it input text, and this is equal to, I select my input by using document get element by ID, and I select input, and from input I want to select it as value, and I store it inside input text variable. But first I have to check if the text is empty or not. So I say if the input is equal to empty. If it's empty, what I want to do, I want to alert the user and say put the text first. So we alert the user to put a text before it does do anything. And we also want to change the color of this text area to red, so user can understand we did something wrong. So I want to select this input area just like before, and I want to change its style, so I give it a style, and from style I want to change its border, and I want to give it a border of 2 pixels solid red. Now let's test if it works. So here, if I don't put any text and I click grab, it says put the first text, and it changed the color to red, so it works. After that, I want to check if the text is not empty. If we have put something, we have to check that one. So how we can do that? If our input is not equal to empty, if it's not empty, what we want to do now, we want to start checking to find the email inside our text, an email, if there is an email. So how we can do that? Okay, it's easy. We make a variable, I call it output text, and this is equal to, from this input text I want to use a function called match. It will search for us. Okay, it's like match, it's like searching something from inside of that text. Okay, we use rich. If you know what is rich exp on JavaScript, it's like giving some rule inside the text. So what I want to say, if you don't know what is it, there's a tutorial on my channel about it. You can watch that one to understand it better. But in here, I want to say, I want to select me everything. You put something like this, and this open this bracket. Inside the bracket, you put another bracket, and now you can say what you want to select. I want to select everything from A to Z, and from big A to capital A to capital Z, and I also want to select from 0 to 9, and from dot, and where's the other one? Okay, I forgot where it is. Okay, there it is. Yeah, and just like that, I want to select everything from A to Z, from capital A to capital Z, from 0 to 9, and some other things like you have something inside your email like dot, slash, things like that. But that's not it. We also want something else. Okay, so you use plus. I want the text to look like this. Okay, this is the structure of what you want. So how email looks like this. For example, ali@gmail.com. A text looks like this. It could be ali a with capital, it could be with a number, it could be like ali with this thing, or maybe a dot. Email could be anything like this. So that's why we use A to Z, A capital to Z capital, 0 to 9, and these other things. Okay, this is the first section of our email. Now we want this one to include an at, so we plus an at. Where is at? There it is. Okay, but after that we have the domain name. It could be Gmail, Yahoo, whatever. So we again use the rich. This time I say, okay, sorry, don't close it here. Okay, everything is inside it. Okay, and this time I want to say, select from A to Z, from capital A to capital Z, from 0. We just do the same thing. So just let's copy it to make our job easier and paste it here. Okay, and after that we use plus, and after that we have something like this dot com. So we have to detect this dot. How you can do that? You just put a slash, not this slash but the other one. Where is it? This one. Okay, you put this one and then put a dot. And after that we have the domain name .com, .net, or whatever. So once again you do the same thing. You just copy this one and put it after this, and we add a plus at the end. And I want my system to not care about capital or small text, so you just put a slash and put GI. If these things are a little bit confusing, no worry, I have a full tutorial about regex on my channel. You can watch that one. Okay, that's how it looks. So it will detect the email address. If there's an email, it will detect it. Let's test if it works. I want to console log this output text and save. Now if I open the console log, let's open the console. If I just clear the console, if I put anything in grab, I got nothing. But let's put our text again, this text. And now if I put the text here and click grab, as you can see, we have an array of 3 email addresses. The first one, the second, and the third. So it means it works. It acts as same as we told the program to do. Okay, let's make it smaller. Now, as you can see, our program works. Let me explain this section once more for you so you guys can understand better. We want to match something inside our input things that could be like this. This is regex. Okay, so what I want, we want the first one so it looks like an email. a name, a number, whatever it is, plus it should have a at, and then whatever it is, whatever it is, Google, Gmail, and then we need a dot, and then a domain name. It could be .com, whatever it is, and we use GI for, so we not care if the G is big or G is small. We don't want to care about it, and that's it. It will detect an email, it get the email address for us and store it to the email addresses inside our output text. It gets everything from the input text and search for emails, and once it got the emails and store it inside this output text as an array. Okay, but maybe, okay, there's another check. We have to check if we not get any email, if it's empty. Now if I put a simple text and it doesn't have an email, we won't see anything. I don't want it, and I want to output an email, output something to say there's no email found on this text. So we want to say if this output text is null, which means it's false. What I want to do, I want to select my output, select my using document get element. I want to select this output, and I change it as value to no email found. And now if I put the dummy text and I click crop, it's a no email found. Okay, it works, but if there's an email address, what I want to do, I wanna output those email address inside this text area 2. So we select the output and we put output text inside it. Okay, and the second thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the input. I want to give it some style, so I say style, and I want to change this border, so type border and this equal to, I want to give it 1 pixel solid gray. So whenever we got an email, it will change the design so it looks more beautiful. Let's save and see how it works. If I click on grab, it says put the text first. If I put a dummy text and click grab, it says no email found, and change the color to red, the border color. Now let's copy this text which contained email address and clear everything and paste it here, and I click grab. As you can see, we got the email addresses. Now if I click copy, it will copy those email addresses for us. If clear and I paste it here, as you can see, it's already copied. So that's how we make email grabber, and this is how it looks. If you want to download this project, go to this myscape.net/webapps, or go to project and click this web app button, and from here you can download the source code or maybe run the demo, or of course you can watch a tutorial. So guys, I hope you learned something from this video. If you like this video, make sure to press the like button, subscribe, and that's it, my friends. Have a great time, and we'll see you on the next video.